enters the hall, I request all of you to please be standing wherever you are.
Just give me a notification.
Who made it possible to be a part of this august gathering. I now request you all to kindly stand up for the national anthem.
अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जल वितरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Please be seated. Now I invite our chief guest, guest of honor, and other dignitaries present on the dais to go towards the lamp for lighting it.
भगवती निःशेष जापहा
Information Technology and Electronics and Communication Department, Government of Telangana. May I now invite the CEO and Managing Director of Tech Mahindra, Sri C.P. Gurnani, to offer a floral bouquet to the guest of honor, Dr. Krishna Ella. Dr. Krishna Ella is the Chairman and Managing Director of Bharat Biotech International Limited. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, honored guests, ladies, gentlemen, parents and dear students. Now I would request the Honorable Chancellor, Mr. Anand Mahindra, to declare the Convocation 2022 open.
I declare the Convocation 2022 open.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Graduation is an exciting time. It marks both an ending and a beginning. It's warm memories of the past and big dreams for the future. Eleanor Roosevelt said, quote, "The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams," unquote. Dear graduating students, if you are dare enough or passionate about dreaming, be passionate also for living up to your dreams. I now request the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Yajulu Meduri, to present the annual report.
Shri K.T. Ramarao, our chief guest for today, Dr. Krishna Ella, guest of honor, Mr. Anand Mahindra, Chancellor, distinguished dignitaries on the dais, esteemed parents, guests, media, and of course, my dear young graduate and graduating students. On behalf of the entire fraternity of Mahindra University, I welcome you all to the very first annual convocation. It is said that an educational institute stands tall on solid rock foundation of its students. For us, the students of Mahindra University are the leaders of tomorrow, entrepreneurs of a new generation, and innovators of the 21st century. Today, sir, I take this opportunity to present to you 3 batches of engineers, batch 2016, 17, 18, who are ready to serve the society with zeal, their intellectual and institutional capacities. Mahindra University has evolved since inception in 2014-2020 into a holistic institution with a rich footprint in education and research. Today, we have a team of 150 plus internationally acclaimed faculty, every one of them who is a doctorate in their own area of specialization, along with students through the schools of engineering, management, law, and education, while focusing on critical thinking, creativity, and innovation. Some of our faculty were recognized by international bodies. I have my colleague, Professor Vishnu Pal, Dean, recognized as an outstanding educator by Optica, the Optical Society of America. Professor Dibakar Rao Chaudhary was recently awarded the fellowship of the prestigious Institute of Physics. As a precursor to the state budget, the government of Jharkhand, Professor Nilanjan Banik of the School of Management, invited with other distinguished economists across India, recommended to the government officials ways to improve income of tribals involved in agriculture and in general improve income from agricultural activities in the state. Ladies and gentlemen, in the academic year 2021, we commenced academic operations at the School of Management, School of Law, and the Indira Mahindra School of Education. Coming up, School of Media and Liberal Arts, School of Hotel Management, and many more. Student strength for 22-23 is estimated to be around 3,000 with around 250 faculty and will increase steadily to reach around 9,500 by 2030. Besides commencing new programs in engineering and nanotechnology and life sciences, an executive MBA for working professionals, and media-related programs of study, we've been steadily enhancing our postgraduate and PhD strength to around 25% of the total student strength. Advanced research labs include the Rikagu Smart Lab XRD tool facility, which has been inaugurated today, Raman spectrometer, the NVIDIA supercomputer as central facilities, and many, many more. And in keeping with our focus on enhancing innovation, the Mahindra eHub incubator has been facilitating student entrepreneurial activities. Students indulge themselves into various extracurricular activities along with their academic curriculum. The initiatives taken by students over the years have resulted into high-standard annual events like Aether, a techno-cultural fest, Equal Tihar, TEDx conference, Central Connect Conclave, Aero Sports Extravaganza. Students are also motivated to take part in competitions held in different colleges and prove their mettle at various available platforms. Our graduates have opted for either higher education or industry positions, the former in top-ranked campuses such as Columbia, Cornell, Georgia Tech, University of Southern California, Princeton, Carnegie Mellon. The list is many, many, many. It is well recognized that to make an academic institution great and globally competitive, research should be an integral component in addition to quality teaching. Research is seeing more emphasis, and we are scaling up student numbers in doctoral education. We have successfully set up a dedicated entrepreneurial cell where crazy innovative ideas of these young engineers will take flight. I wish our graduating students all the very best for the coming future. Do well, keep the Mahindra University flag flying high, and keep remembering your alma mater. Thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen, for your gracious presence and patient hearing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your detailed report and warm wishes. I now invite Sri Chandra Prakash Gurnani, commonly known as CP, the Chief Executive Officer and Managing Director of Tech Mahindra, to deliver his address.
Good morning, parents. Good morning, students. Honorable K.T. Ramarao, Dr. Krishna Ila, our Chancellor, Mr. Anand Mahindra, and Mr. Vineet Nayyar, Mr. Jayesh Ranjan, and Professor Meduri, and all the heads of the departments and the faculty members. You know, it's a very, very defining moment for us. It's like a dream coming true. And this morning, when I walked in, the erstwhile Chief Executive of Satyam Computers, Mr. A.S. Murthy, reminded me that when we had come, which is the Mahindra Group had come, to look at a possibility of then acquiring Satyam Computers, we did not discuss immediately about Satyam, but when we came to Bahadurpally campus, we discussed with A.S. Murthy a potential to create a university in Hyderabad and at Bahadurpally. Now that was the year 2009. Fast forward in life, come 2014. I believe two big events happened. The first event was that in 2014, KCR Garu became the first Chief Minister of Telangana. And exactly at the same time, just a month later, Mahindra Ecole Central, which is now called Mahindra University, was born. So guys, 2014 was that seismic moment. There are a few things that I believe is where the Guru plays a very important role. In my life, I've had many Gurus, but Vineet Nair has been my longest Guru. He has been a Guru to me for over 30 years now. And Vineet became the glue between some of the ambitions that we had envisaged, the dreams that we had shared with Anand Mahindra, our chairman, and now the Chancellor of the university. So I can only say that that old Gurukul system, if you follow it in spirit, you see what the results are. So thank you, Vineet. Thank you so much for being the Guru. And then the polarizing forces, then the forces which help you shape the destiny. In my case, it was, as I said, started with a Guru called Vineet Nair, but Anand's vision. Anand's questions used to be, how old is the Nalanda University? How old is the Takshila University? How old is the Ujjain University? And if India could start an education system, multidisciplinary, which had, even in those days, 1100 years ago, 10,000 plus students, don't dream small. And don't forget that we are custodians. We are only learning from the legacy. We are only people who carry the baton to the next generation, and we owe it to the young minds of India, the young minds of Telangana, young minds, to create an institution for the future. You know, it takes a little time to sink in what Mr. Mahindra's vision was. Think about it. 1100 years ago, you had a school of education, you had a school of law, you had a school of medicine. And today, after 75 years of independence, after 75 years of Mahindra Group's formation, when we come here today in this hall, we are only carrying on the legacy. But I promise you, we are conscious that the world does not remain static. And the world around us is moving fast, and that it really means is now we need to balance the other forces that are acting, whether it is technology, and you all experience the technology. That's why the whole batches are, all the batches are coming together here. It was the most disruptive thing, and the man who helped us tame that disruption, Dr. Krishna Ella, is also here with us. But the point is, technology helped him create the vaccination, technology helped him create Covaxin, and technology helped us continue with the education programs. So the world around us is not static. And we are conscious that on one end we have the government of KCR Garu, which has continued to help us, motivate us, push us. On the other end, we have technologists like my colleagues in Tech Mahindra, my colleagues in various bodies of NASSCOM, or many of the inventors that are there in the various sectors, and many of you are now also working for those sectors. So between the industry, between the learned academia, between the government, I think we are creating an institution that not only you are proud of, but I am proud that I stand in front of you on the first convocation of Mahindra University. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, sir, for your foresight about Mahindra University, the Bahadurpalli campus, to become what it is today. I now request Shri Vineet Nair, Chairman of Mahindra Educational Institutions, to deliver his address.
Hello.
The old saying, sometimes the dreams come true. That's precisely what I perceive, what my senior colleague perceived. That has happened. We started small, we started quickly, we started competently. And I do think that we have created an institution which will last well beyond our lives, with thousands of students fulfilling their future, fulfilling their ambitions, fulfilling all that they have worked for by the institution which starts today. In fact, we are blessed. We are blessed that we have been given this opportunity to be able to create something which is fundamental, something which is critical, something which is needed, something which will live well after our lives, will create generations of children, students who will meet their goal, will meet what they aspired for the rest of their lives. So I'm really truly touched that we have been given this opportunity to be able to be small instruments in reaching to this level. What happens now? We started this with limited resources and great ambition. It is our hope and our objective that we create an institution which will be not only India facing, but will have itself as a part of the global scale which we are aiming for. I'm certain that given the kind of people we have, the staff we have, the academicians we have, we will be able to achieve that. Because ultimately the quality will succeed. The quality will bless us. And I think at all times we would have to stay with that. I don't want to talk much further. All I'm doing is I feel hugely blessed, and all of us today, that it is a beginning for us of somewhat of a new world where we will be able to contribute to the development, intellectual and more, for the rest of our lives. And in that I see how we are so blessed by this moment. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words and the vision that you have for quality education, and that this local university will have a global impact. I now call upon the Honorable Chancellor of Mahindra University, Shri Anand Mahindra, to deliver his address.
Our chief guest, Honorable Minister Shri K.T. Rama Rao, our guest of honor, Dr. Krishna Ella, dignitaries on the dais, the governing body, distinguished faculty, and proud parents, and of course, above all, the graduating class. How are you feeling today? Let's hear it a little louder. I like that decibel level a lot more, much nicer. Ladies and gentlemen, in the Mahindra Group, we have made a religion out of education. For over 75 years, we have run schools, given scholarships, supported educational institutions, funded academic chairs, and created educational opportunities for girls and disadvantaged youngsters. However, out of all these initiatives, the Mahindra University is by far the most ambitious. So while this is my first visit to the campus, I assure you it will not be my last. I feel privileged to be associated with this institution because frankly I envisage it to be the future of education. So what's that future going to look like? What is the future of education? How will it affect higher education as we know it today? And I've spent some time trying to grapple with that question. What I see is a quiet but really a tectonic shift taking place in the sphere of education. And this shift, I think, is encapsulated in a story I want to share with you about the legendary executive, automobile executive Bob Lutz, who was hired by General Motors to turn the crisis around in that crisis-ridden automobile company. Now, it's difficult to find someone in the car business who was more hard-headed and profit-minded. And yet, when the New York Times asked him how his approach would be different from his predecessors, what did he say? He said, "My approach is more right-brained. I see us as being in the business of art, entertainment, and mobile sculpture. Sculpture which just coincidentally happens to provide transportation." So what does that imply? It implies that the Lakshman Rekha, so to speak, between art and science, between the left and the right brain, between logic and intuition, all become blurred. I see it in our own automotive business at Mahindra. With increasing prosperity, there's a rise in customer aspirations and expectations. And customers are no longer just happy buying a box and wheels that takes them from point A to point B. They demand beauty, convenience, technological superiority, and entertainment. All, of course, at a reasonable price. And unless our engineers know how to use both sides of their brain, they're not going to be able to provide all those expectations. And frankly, I believe this is going to apply to all disciplines, not just to engineering. Because as automation increasingly takes over, computers will draft contracts, they'll file tax returns, they'll diagnose and treat everyday diseases. Now, engineers, doctors, lawyers, accountants, MBAs, they're not going to disappear. But AI will take over most of their routine work. So in addition to their professional skills, your worth is going to be judged against capabilities that cannot be outsourced to a computer. And ironic, I say that here when Tech Mahindra is the founding donor of this institution, and yet I say that with confidence. Because capabilities that are uniquely human, like critical thinking, storytelling, the knowledge of art, design, literature, all of which contribute to communication, understanding, and empathy. Capabilities that focus on understanding the world around us and understanding the desires of the human heart. The Bob Lutz story that I shared with you clearly points to the need for more people who use the left as well as the right side of their brain. More whole-brain thinkers, as it were. And it points to the need, therefore, for academic institutions that can produce whole-brain thinkers. So the education that we provide here must rise to that challenge. And we are a young university, not yet set in our ways. And frankly, that gives us a unique opportunity to be path breakers, to change the whole arts versus science paradigm that has shaped education, particularly in the 20th and 21st centuries. Now, the Vice Chancellor told us that we will soon start a School of Media and Liberal Arts next year. But we need to build a School of Liberal Arts with a difference. I've served on some boards of some fine educational institutions overseas. But I have to say, even in those institutions, humanities is nothing but just one more separated silo. It's not an integrated part of every course or school. And can we be different? Can we integrate both the sciences and the humanities into all our disciplines so that we as a university are known not just for producing thinkers, movers and shakers and successful professionals, but also well-rounded, good human beings. Good human beings who use their whole brain and have what it takes to succeed in any field of endeavor. So my dream, speaking of dreams, would be to take the Ganga of sciences and the Jamuna of the arts and merge them seamlessly into a confluence, into a Prayag, as it were. Albert Einstein said, "Education is what is left after you have forgotten everything that you learnt in school." It is my fondest hope, ladies and gentlemen, that what our alumni retain with them when all else is forgotten is the experience of that Prayag, and that they will cherish it as a deep and lasting contribution to their lives. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, sir, for your words and for your hope about this ambitious university to culminate art, entertainment, sculpture, and to understand the desires of the human heart. We hope and pray that this shift in educational paradigm will happen at Mahindra University. I now invite the Vice Chancellor of Mahindra University, Shri Yajulu Meduri, to introduce the guest of honor, Dr. Krishna Ella.
Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure. I'm privileged to introduce Dr. Krishna Ella, an alumnus of University of Wisconsin at Madison, USA. leading scientist and successful entrepreneur in the field of vaccines. A scientist by heart and driven by a firm conviction that today's neglected diseases will become tomorrow's pandemics, Dr. Ella endeavors to develop technologies to provide innovative and affordable solutions for neglected diseases. Dr. Ella returned to India in 1996 to establish Bharat Biotech. The company has delivered over 10 billion vaccine doses to the poorest and most undeserved populations. In over 123 developing countries through UNICEF and Gavi, with 433 patents filed and over 145 granted patents, including the world's first global patents filed for chikungunya and Zika virus vaccines, Dr. Ella has led development of 17 vaccines used in India and around the world. Dr. Ella's latest work involved the development of Covaxin, proven through the world's second largest efficacy trial. It is India's first and the world's fourth SARS-CoV-2 vaccine after the US and UK that not only saved countless lives but also demonstrated India's indigenous vaccine development capabilities and is priced as low as $3 a dose, only $3 a dose. Ladies and gentlemen, and I say this with pride because I am an alumnus of the University of Wisconsin-Madison also, that the University of Wisconsin-Madison has recognized Dr. Ella's extraordinary contribution to public health by awarding the Distinguished Alumni Award in 2011 and an honorary degree Doctor of Science in 2022. For his incomparable contributions to the society and industry, the Republic of India in 2022 conferred him with the Padma Bhushan, the country's third highest civilian award. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Dr. Krishna Ella.
Really honored to be here. It looks awkward when they read about yourself. So really, but I think, I want to thank respected our Ramarao Garu, and I think our Anand Mahindra said, Gurnani said, Nalanda University started in Bihar, and Takshashila was also Bihar, and I think we lost out the innovation of education. But I hope now it re-emerges back from Mahindra University from Telangana. I want to thank Anand Mahindra, Professor Meduri, and Gurnani, Vinit Nair Saab, and Jayesh Ranjan, and all the executive committee board, advisory council, faculty, staff, parents, students, and all the parents. Particularly, I should be grateful to, because you all should be grateful to your parents. More important, that's very important. I'll tell you why. My address is going to be on innovation and entrepreneurship. We don't grow as a developed nation unless we have a higher GDP growth, unless double digit. The double digit can come only on innovation. Innovation only can create the double-digit growth. So, you have got a degree from Mahindra University, you get a knowledge and a skill set. That is what you get from Mahindra University. But what is the third part, which is important for innovation, is the imagination. Imagination, I'll give a simple example, because many people want to, because university teaches you innovation in any classroom, in a classroom setting. It's what I'm trying to tell the young kids. Imagination is there in front of you. You're right there. Look at a Golconda. Golconda Fort, 2 kilometers down, you can clap and somebody can hear. There was no Mahindra University graduate student those days. There is no IT sound engineers those days. It's just imagination, how they created that type of thing. Imagination is like an architect. You tell the house how you want to construct a house. An architect imagines of your dream and he builds the drawing. Exactly, that is what imagination is. Another one, I will tell you a good example, Lord Ganesha. We only pray Ganesha when we want more marks, or when you want admission in the Mahindra University, you pray for the Lord Ganesha. But you don't look at it in a scientific angle. It's a transplantation, head transplant, an elephant head transplanted on the human. It's a true head transplantation. Look at a kidney, liver, pancreas, it's all organ transplants. The similar thing, okay? And I can give a lot of examples, but we lost a lot of, India was the most innovative country in the world. That's how the many innovation happened. Zero was invented, steel industry was invented, ink is invented, and cataract surgery was invented by Indians. Everything was invented, but we lost out somehow. And I think you look at the present situation, how many people, Telugu people here? You know Manchinona? You heard about Manchinona? Everybody grandmother said Manchinona. Nugul Nora is called Manchinona. Nobody knows why it is Manchinona. Nobody knows. Grandmother said, we follow that. In Tamil we call Nallanna, Malayalam also Vallanna, and Kannada is called Vallanna. All languages says it's a good oil. Nobody asked the question, why it is good oil? We have become, just carrying the forward, not asking a question. So your innovation right there. Look at canola oil. Canada is $64 billion business of canola oil. It's nothing but mustard oil. They took the seed from India, mustard seed. If you call mustard seed, all look at North India and East India, everything pickle is made with mustard oil. That mustard oil is a purely, grandmother knows it's a good oil, but nobody knows the science. But Canadians said they don't want to compete with Indian mustard oil. They call Canadian oil called Cano, and Oleiaceae is a family, an oil, so called canola oil. It's a $64 billion. Right Indian crop, right there, and we are watching that crop. And we don't innovate anything ourselves. The simple thing, like we drink orange juice. Why we drink orange juice? Americans drinking orange juice, Europeans are drinking, so it should be good for me also, I'm drinking orange juice. And I think we're copying even drinking the orange juice also. And the no orange juice what is made in this country comes from Brazil and Chinese concentrate, nothing from India. Whatever Nagpur orange is grown, it is grown as a fruit crop, not as a juice. And today, Musambi juice, jamun. Have you seen a Tetra Pak in India? We have not seen Tetra Pak. Because Americans have not made a Tetra Pak using kino fruit in Punjab. Kino fruit Punjab juice, we have not made anything. It is there in front of our eyes, all the things what you can see. And I think we don't see that. Right now, samosa, we're eating with the ketchup. Earlier we used to eat with chutney, now with the ketchup. So Americans made ketchup, we should use it. Now no chutney. And I think, everything is there in front of us, but we don't watch. What happens is right now in the country, the best thing is the future is great. I'll tell you why future is great. And I think, parents in this house, in this room, they don't mind selling their house. They don't mind pledging a jewelry in a bank and put their children for education. That's a contribution of the parents. And that means parents want to contribute back to the children. We are a knowledge seeker. The parents, suppose you say you want to start a business, parents will think 2 times to sell their property. But you want to go for education, they don't mind even 1 time. They'll pledge their house and put you for children for education. Today you are in Mahindra University, thanks to their contribution also. I think that's very important, parents. So the parents are going to keep alive this country's future of innovation, and that is going to change the game. And how about the present today, how to kill innovation? And everybody was having 2 mobile phones. And you shake the mobile phone if it doesn't signal. And you're always busy with the mobile phone and emails. And when you have busy with that, you don't see anything nature. You don't see the nature, you don't get any innovation. You don't get imagination power. That imagination power, reduce your mobile, reduce your social media, you'll see more nature and you'll get more ideas. And I think, you have tremendous opportunity. Last one year, I'll tell you a few examples where the globe stands on innovation. I'm telling amazing in last pandemic time in 1 year. MIT has come out, duct tape. Somebody has got a surgery, you make a suture. You don't need a suture. You put a duct tape, you're done with it. No surgeon is required. And human genome sequencing Stanford, they sequenced the entire human genome in 5 hours. That means today you can give blood sample, evening you know what genetic disorders you have in 1 day. The science is revolutionized. Look at artificial intelligence, the way the defibrillator in Sweden delivered by drone into the rural remote area where the automatic defibrillator was delivered. And in Switzerland, there are paralysis patient, 3 patients, totally paralyzed. And they put an electrode and made an artificial intelligence and put a software according to each individual. They made a software and they made them to walk now, they swim and they do cycling now. You see how the life is changing in last 1 year? A lot of other examples are there. That is not important. But I'll tell you one thing, you have great opportunity. One, the future is going to be clean energy, you've got biology, data mining, and as our Anand Mahindra said, AI, machine learning is going to change the game, financial technology, agriculture and food. Simple example in agriculture. One can predict a cropping pattern by using a satellite map. How much is the crop is going to come in cotton crop in Telangana. We predict that, we can predict what the commercial value of the crop is going to be, what the pricing of that is going to be. And even a crop growing in a village situation, you can predict what weather condition and the soil condition, you can predict what the crop is going to be, pattern is going to be. Simple example, not a very high technology. Simple things can happen. My take-home message for you people, you have only 4 options as a kids, we are getting graduated. One is higher education, you may want to go, that's absolutely open for everybody. And second is a multinational job and a corporate job. And third is joining a startup. Fourth is entrepreneurship. I prefer the last option, being an entrepreneur. And that is the future. That is where you are going to create more jobs for the country, more jobs to the country. And I worked all the 4 systems. I was a startup, I went to higher education, I worked in multinational in Bayer, and I worked as a startup, and now I am an entrepreneur. And I think you have great chance to be there. And I think my example of journey is truly rewarding for the people. And I think you should think, everyone, don't go behind the money. If you go behind money, you will not innovate anything in the life. Anything you see a society problem, you try to solve that, you become innovator. And you automatically the money comes out as a package in that. Okay, so be innovative and bring some credibility. Today, one thing I'm telling you, you are grateful as Anand Mahindra student because not only Mahindra's university student, you are Anand Mahindra students. And I think the legend of Anand Mahindra is going to be helpful to you. This legend is not there in IIT. There is no legend in IIT Hyderabad or IIT Delhi. I gave IIT Bombay convocation address also. I told them, you don't have a legend. But we have a legend here, Anand Mahindra. And we have a minister, KTR. And I think the greatness of Telangana, we are IT and pharma world, biotech world, now vaccine world, now what I'm seeing emerging out is an education hub and also healthcare hub. Thank you very much. I wish you all the best here.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring speech, touching upon words like imagination, innovation, revolution, and entrepreneurship. And for us, for the graduating students, to take on the legacy of Shri Anand Mahindra. I now invite Shri C.P. Gurnani, CEO of and Managing Director of Tech Mahindra, to introduce the chief guest, Sri K.T. Ramarao.
Hi, good morning again. So, most of you probably know our chief guest a lot better through his witty answers on the various news channels and interviews. You know him as a visionary. Most of you have also known him as a tireless soldier and the president of the party. So I thought, I'm going to actually share with you how I got to know him and why I consider our chief guest to be the master of energy, master of innovation, master of inspiration, and in a lot of ways, a master creator of the new Telangana. I did talk to you about 2014. I did talk to you about then Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao inviting me over as the CEO of then Mahindra Satyam and Tech Mahindra to come and have a cup of tea with him. And I had a great conversation. But prior to that, just about a week ago, my admin comes to my office and says, Honorable Minister for Information Technology and Panchayat Raj, Mr. K.T. Ramarao wants to talk to you. And I said, all right. So I do get on the phone and I said, yes, Honorable Minister. He said, no, call me Ram. I mean, obviously before coming on the call, I read the full biodata. I knew about his 6 years of working in US. I knew about his education in Hyderabad till graduation and further education in US, but I didn't expect an informality of somebody saying, call me Ram. The next thing was the minister saying, we need to meet. I said, sure, tell me, sir. I mean, I'll come across to your office. He said, no, I'll come to your office. And he did come. And he immediately. So that is our honorable minister, president of the party, and he came to meet me. And honestly, that is the first time it happened to me in my career where the minister came calling. The important part was not only just the minister coming calling. The minister was prepared. That is, KTR was prepared. That's why I said, call him a master of innovation. Because he came in and he said, what do you think about triple IIT? And that time we had Dr. Raj Reddy, Professor Raj Reddy as, one of our board members. And as many of you would remember, Professor Raj Reddy was the founder of triple IIT. So I said, oh, that's great. I mean, it's a great institution. I've been there a few times. He said, what can we do to make Hyderabad the innovation capital of the world? Now that is where his vision is. And so what you see T-Hub today, and why T-Hub is different is not because government created it. He actually empowered 5 of us along with Jayesh Ranjan to create it. The initial investment, government's investment was 42 crores for the infrastructure, 5 crores, and the matching funds had to be given by us. So 1 crore each, I don't know Jayesh if I remember it correctly, 1 crore each, 5 of us contributed, and what you see as the innovation capital of the world, AI capital of the world, and in a lot of ways, the metaverse capital of the world, and the T-Hub that you just recently saw the inauguration, 350 crore campus, that is all because KTR is a master of innovation. So same thing, when I used to go and talk to him about engineering college, and I told you, I had various pressures or motivators, master of motivation, Honorable Chief Guest, KTR, because every time I went to him and spoke about Mahindra, Ecol Central as an engineering college, he said multiveracity. He used to talk about biotech and pharma to me. And honestly, I mean, there was a global, I went to invite him for a global IT conference, and he said, we need to do a global biotech conference. And I'm just sharing these incidents with you so that you can understand the man behind and the person who has this clear vision. So today when Dr. Krishna Ella talks about biotech and pharmacity, please remember the man who has been pushing it is our chief guest, KT Rama Rao. So he would claim he has more stories on me. I promise you I have more stories on him. But today is not the day to trade stories. It's my honor, and on behalf of all of you, let's welcome the chief guest, KT Rama Rao.
Good afternoon, good morning. That felt like my convocation actually. CP was so kind. Thank you, respected Mr. Anand Mahindra. Thank you, sir, for gracing us with your presence, the Chancellor of this university, the Vice Chancellor, the guest of honor, Shri Krishna Ella Garu, Dr. Krishna Ella, CP Gurnani, my dear friend, Vineet Nair ji, Honorable Principal Secretary Jayesh Ranjan, to all the dignitaries on the dais, to the faculty, to the staff, to the non-teaching staff, to the proud parents, and most importantly, to all the graduating students. Thank you very much for inviting me, and thank you very much for having us here. So first of all, my heartfelt congratulations to all the students who have successfully passed their courses and are receiving their degrees today. My special congratulations also to all the award winners who have shown excellence in their endeavors. Amongst the private universities that have been set up in the state of Telangana, Mahindra University occupies a place of pride. The Mahindra Group is reputed for business excellence in diverse fields, and there is no doubt that the university is also run with the same passion and commitment in achieving excellence and in making all the students lifelong votaries of excellence in whatever they do. Mr. Anand Mahindra himself embodies another very important virtue, which is that of compassion. In fact, when he was speaking, I was listening in very intently. Now, when he talked about a combination of art and science and what he wants to bring about in Mahindra University, eventually a blend of both. I remember a conversation that I had with a friend of mine. Now, this friend of mine had told me that there are two kinds of people in the world: artists, and then there are the scientists. Artists who think with their heart, and scientists who basically let their mind dominate. I think what Mr. Anand Mahindra was alluding to today is he wants Mahindra University to create that new blend, that new breed of people, which is a good combination of heart and mind, which is a blend of art and science, a new breed which is a combination of artists and scientists, and hopefully all of you and the future classes of Mahindra University, future students of Mahindra University will become an embodiment of that. Good luck to you, sir, on that effort, and I hope you'll set a benchmark. I hope you'll raise the bar in India for other universities, for other academic institutions. Mr. Mahindra's life has been spent in making our country proud by coming out with products and services that are truly world class. He is a visionary in that many of his ideas are futuristic, anticipating the needs of the world decades ahead of time. I'm sure that the university also has fostered a strong culture of compassion, innovation, and inquisitiveness in the hearts and minds of all the students here. Young India, I call India young because, as you all know, if you look at our population today, 1.4 billion India, 50% of India is less than the age of 27. 65% of India is less than the age of 35. That's why I call our country a young country. As the world is getting older, India is getting younger. And youth in our country especially are brimming with ideas, are brimming with energy, are wanting to take on the world and have an aspiration that is truly global. They have a voice and want to be heard across the world. They are no more passive observers of events going by, but possess a strong desire to be at the center stage and make a difference and an impact globally. In a way, this augurs very well for the country, as we are very close to the cherished milestone of 75 years of independence of our glorious nation. These milestones are also occasions when we have to think about our future and how we collectively intend to make the future much more than what the past has been. The youth are going to shape the future immensely. Not only our country's future, but Indian youth have the unique ability and the unique opportunity of shaping the future of the modern world. The youth and how we groom them today, what ideals and aspirations we sow in their hearts and minds, and what kind of responsibilities we bestow upon them at an early age will matter the most in how young people will contribute to the noble task of nation building. While our country, India, has done rather well in the last 75 years in general, yet the reality is we are still a developing nation. We are still, by global standards, a third world country. Somewhere or the other, we seem to have lost track of the most important priorities and have focused on issues that distract us and cause divisiveness amongst ourselves. Let me share a piece of statistic which might be of interest to you. Back in 1987, about 35 years ago, when most of you were not born here, actually all of you were not born here, India and China, countries of similar size in terms of population, had a similar size of economy as well. $470 billion, exactly the same size. But cut to 35 years later, today China is at $16 trillion GDP and India is only at $3 trillion. And we still keep dreaming the 5 trillion dream. Now, I don't want to point fingers, I don't want to say anything which is political, but I have to say this. I think the future of India will augur well for us if we are not distracted from economics. You know, politics can wait. It can happen once every 6 months in 5 years. But the remaining 4.5 years, I think the nation, its polity, its political leadership, in fact, has to focus, has to remain focused on economics, on creation of employment, on issues that really matter to our future. While the politicians of this country are largely to be held accountable for their inability to arrive at a consensus on national priorities and then devoting their energies in achieving them, we also cannot ignore a sense of apathy amongst the general population in allowing things to come to such a state. Amongst many of the perceived problems about India, one that is commonly noted is that the brightest minds, implying all the people like you, are working endlessly to solve the problems of the rich, while collectively completely ignoring the problems of the poor. As I mentioned, hardly anyone has focused on building houses and toilets for the poor, but there are hundreds and thousands of bright engineers and architects who are constructing villas in gated communities for the rich. It is time that we also change our lopsided priorities and ensure that the task of nation building remains supreme for everyone. While we all speak about India as one nation, which it is, we should also accept another reality, that within our country of India, there are 28 different Indias, meaning there are 28 states within India which are extremely diverse and have their own levels of development. There are few states today who have focused on good governance, balancing the priorities between welfare, development, have designed people-centric programs, and have implemented all their ideas and goals with perfect execution. I feel very proud to share with you that our young state of Telangana today has become a role model state in the country for the rest to emulate. I know that students of Mahindra University come from different parts of the country, but I would encourage all of you to look at the opportunities that are available in Telangana, in Hyderabad. Telangana is the champion state in promoting innovation and entrepreneurship amongst the youth. Like no other government of the day, our state has invested heavily in creating world-class institutions where young minds who have the passion to make a difference are encouraged in every possible way to make their dreams a reality. It will be a matter of tremendous satisfaction if many of you could join hands with us in creating a future which was envisaged by the founding fathers of our country 75 years ago. I do hope that each of you will step out into this world as young people, not only having great knowledge and skills, but also as young people who want to contribute to the betterment of the society and become change makers. Once again, I wish you all the very best for your future. Jai Telangana, Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for your sharing your mind, expressing your desire for all the graduating students to join hands so that the development paradigm is shifted towards the poor. I now request, so someone said like this: talent will bring you to the door of opportunity, but hard work will take you to the top of the ladder. We like to honor some of our exceptionally excellent students for their stupendous achievement. Their hard work / smart work, determination and perseverance is being paid off today. I request the Vice Chancellor to announce the names of the outstanding students of 2016, 2017 and 2018 batches respectively.
Can I request our Honorable Chief Guest KTR Garu to do the medal presentation? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, medal winners, batch 2016, topper Santosh Manas Sameta of EEE, CGPA 9.71. Santosh is pursuing his Masters in Electrical and Computer Engineering at the University of California, Davis, and his parents are here to receive the degree, Mr. Subramaniam, Mrs. Rajalakshmi Dasri. Big hand, please. Big hand. Santosh is also the topper of EEE. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Civil engineering topper with a CGPA of 9.64, Sriram Naga Venkata Swaroop. His parents are here, Mr. Sudhakar, Mrs. Prabha. Sriram is pursuing his Master's in Structural Engineering at the Imperial College of London. A big hand, please.